So I'm testing Waste Not in an 8-rack deck because I'm excited for it to exist again. Playing a lot of Zoo, so I'd like to do something with it. And cool, got it in my hand, but I'm going first. This isn't necessarily the best hand in the world. It's got, I guess, 2 1-drops. I guess I'll keep it just because I'm trying to test Waste Not, so we'll see. Played about 2 other games before this. It's hard to get a game 2 and 3 with this deck because people rage so hard against it. But Waste Not was been really good. I don't know if it's a 4 of though, like I've got it. It's probably a 3 of. We're gonna go with Wall of Omens Cycles, which is annoying. Mana Leak is also annoying. It's got Dissipate, which is crazy. But I suppose if I go with Wall of Omens, I'll have 2 mana open to do what? Nothing? I guess Smallpox, which will probably get countered. I think we're going to go for Wall, only because it cycles, although it is useless after that. It's not like I'm going to be attacking through his walls, and if I am, it's with Waste Not tokens, so it doesn't really matter. I guess Leak. I mean, Wall cycles, and that's, again, annoying, but at least I can probably, if I get a land, put down a Raven's Crime and a Shrieking Affliction all at once. Or my Lily. Oh, that's right, because I went first. Okay, Waste Not is definitely awesome now, because we've got the land here. We're going to sneak it through, and that means that we're basically going to beat him up for anything that he plays now. His hand was stacked. So if the best thing he can do, I mean, he doesn't really know, is I really should have just copied and pasted so that I can just plop it in there. But this is really good now, because that means I can land a Shrieking Affliction and a Raven's Crime, and the Raven's Crime will probably let me draw a card. I don't think he's going to ditch a land. If he does, land is the best thing he can ditch right now. But this deck, the blue-white control deck, uses a lot of mana. So that's not going to happen. I mean, basically Molten Raining him if he does that. And then I have more mana and I can put down Lily after that. So that's fine, yeah. If you want to do that, dude, by all means. I guess he could ditch the Wall of Omens, but that's not an option anymore. Well, that changes a few things. I think what we do here is, rather than double up on discard, since he doesn't have the mana to dissipate right now, we're just going to go up here. I don't think I'm going to use my Smallpox anytime soon. So I'm going to, I guess I can ditch my Raven's Crime, but I would rather get a free thing off of it. So I think I'm actually just going to ditch the Smallpox. We'll see what he lets me have. I wouldn't even care. Like, if he ditches a creature, I would get a zombie token, so I wouldn't really mind. If he ditches a land, that's fine too. Smallpox again. Like, I don't really mind casting Smallpox into with my zombie tokens out. What I mostly did was took an old list of mine, revamped it a teeny bit, and then added Waste Not instead of Dark Confidants. And I think they can probably get cut down to 3. Although there was one game where I just had 2 of them, and it was just epic. It was, like, insanely epic. So I think that's, I've seen everything in his hand. I mean, I know he's got a Gideon Jura and a Dissipate. Doesn't seem that big of a deal to me, though. Because he's got to get to Gideon Jura, not to mention he's got to have a Gideon Jura in his hand. But I'm in Value Town over here now, so we're gonna go ahead and I guess wrench mine first so that we have more stuff in hand so that maybe we can Liliana afterwards. Because Waste Not should get me to draw a card here. Think twice. Path to Exile. Draw, draw. Cool. Land is a good thing to grab. We're going to Raven's Crime him now. Let's see what he ditches. Draw on again. Extra Waste Knots because that's what we do here. We will play Shrieking Affliction, and we're going to discard the Swamp. I don't actually mind seeing him use some sort of, like, Spell Pierce or something. Add a counter. And pass the turn. So Waste Not just did a crap ton there. Literally, it was out for 2 turns. And I've already, like, cycled through a crap ton of cards because of it. Kitchen Finks. Alright. Truth is, I don't really mind. I can put another Waste Not out there, which is probably something I'm going to do. Making him sack a creature sounds pretty stupid, especially when I can ultimate him next turn with it. Alright, so I mean, obviously I'm going to keep my zombie token out here. These are more valuable in my hand than not, because then I can double do it if I need to. Let's toss another Waste Not out there. I guess go up 1 and toss my Drakmor Salvage. And leave it at that. I mean, we're still doming him for another 3. There you go. Still doming him for a 3. He attacks with Kitchen Finks. We can block with the zombie, which gives us another turn to have Lily. Fairy Conclave is pretty annoying. We'll see what we draw. I mean, we outrace him at this point. Drawing ourselves a Swamp. Not what we wanted. But I suppose I'm just going to ultimate Lily here, especially because I've got access to what do you call it? And I can probably color screw him too, so they can't use this Fairy Conclave if he keeps his lands. I don't need that anymore. I know it's over here. Alright, yeah, he's being a douchey douche because I actually get to pile. Yeah, there we go. I get to pile, man. Let's see here. So either we say he can keep his lands and have the Kitchen Finks, or he can keep his Wall of Omens and keep a Fairy Conclave with 1 mana, and it's at the wrong mana to cast it. I think that's what we end up doing. So he's got either mana and a reliable creature, or he's got a creature and two creatures that don't actually attack. Either way, I'm gonna outspeed him. I don't mind giving him that mana. I mean, the Fairy Conclave's a little tougher to deal with because it's a land, you know. Where did that Think Twice come from? Shit. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to Inquisition him. You can cast something if he really wants to. But even if it just shows up at 2 lands, I want to get it down. So I want to see what's there. Alright, he should have mana leaked it. But then I guess I could have paid for it, so whatever. Leak. There we go. We start drawing stuff again. Very good. So we do know... I didn't play a land this turn, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't play a land this turn, so I can get rid of it. I guess I'm going to play the Inkmoth Nexus, or the Blinkmoth Nexus. Play out that Liliana. Set counters to 4. Discard Swamp. Again, I just wanted to draw more cards with Waste Not, to be honest with you. That's totally fine. We're going to kill off the Lily next turn anyways. That's funny. Let's kill off my Lily. I mean, unless he wants to enable that Fairy Conclave, which he can. I ain't stopping him. Ditch myself a land, and I guess, I mean, we're still winning the race here, so I guess I will just activate Inkmoth. Turn it into a 1/1. I mean, dude, he says good draw. I drew like... drew like 7 times since the last time. Yeah. So Waste Not doing quite a bit of work right now. I mean, rather than negativing it, which does nothing, just toss a land into my graveyard. Why I'm not discarding either of these guys, don't need to. I can use, I do still have a way to, I guess if I really wanted to, just go on to Mega Discard, I could. It's not really useful right now. Drawing more cards is useful. I mean, I suppose if he holds it, whatever card, I could use my lock. Sure. I am so sure this deck has Leyline of the, what do you call it? And I do have sideboard tech for that, if he's got Leyline of the stupidness. What we're going to do is we're going to toss in Necrogenic Mists and also the Surgical Extractions. We are going to take out the things that target, like Wrench Mind, which is a little bit more expensive. And we're going to take out, I guess, 2 Raven's Crimes? Or 2 Funeral Charms? I guess Funeral Charms... Funeral Charms might be fine, because, I don't know, kill some things with it, maybe. This is not the best thing in the world, so I guess we'll take out the 2 Funeral Charms. And the hope is, if he ends up putting Leyline of the Void out there, which I assume he would, if he puts Leyline of the Void out there, he mulligans a crap ton to get to that Leyline of the Void. I'll keep. It's a risky keep as hell. I'm going second, though. So we'll see if he's got the Leyline of the Void right away. Or Leyline of the Sanctity. Leyline of Sanctity, dude. That's what it's called. Alright, well he doesn't, so that means we can probably unsideboard next game. We're going to Inquisition. We have a Surgical Extraction backup if I need to get rid of 2 things in his hand. Restoration Angel will be annoying, but I guess Disenchant. Got no reason to Inquisition that, or to kill that yet. If you were to crazy thoughts here, Ghost Quarter right now. Okay, so we knew he drew that land. Waste not helpful. Or a Raven's Crime. If he gets rid of Ghost Quarter, then we can go ahead and Surgical Extract the Ghost Quarter too. He did. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to have a little bit of 2-for-1 here. And we're going to see his deck too. Because we knew he had that in hand. So that is going to mana... it's going to mana hurt him. We have to see what he drew. He does not have the mana right now to cast... he doesn't have the mana to cast the Restoration Angel. He won't now, especially, because I think the only thing he's got in hand is an island form of land-wise. So he's got an island, a Restoration Angel, and something I don't know. You're not done. You got to reveal your deck in hand. I need to see if you have the Leyline. Not being a dick. I'm just really trying to see if you sided Leyline or something. Alright, so Engineered Explosives for 1 sounds pretty spicy. This is for, I guess, Lily. Detention Spheres. I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff against me. It's not like he doesn't. He's got some spicy stuffs. The Rack. Alright, well... this is going to hell in a handbasket, man. If we hit a land, then we're stopping Restoration Angel. He ditches a Restoration Angel, he ditches a Restoration Angel. Unless he's got another land in hand, which he might. I mean, he definitely has... no, he used his island. That's that. I don't know. I'm pretty mana screwed here, so I'm probably going to die. Got him down to 2 cards in hand, but if he puts down, like, another land, it's pretty much a game for me. Unless I get another land and can Smallpox. Which still is not the best thing in the world. Yeah, I wouldn't know why he would do it on his turn. I will Raven's Crime you right now, at least. Oh, the Raven's Crimes! You can ditch the angel if you want. You can cast a response. I don't really care. It just means you got 1 thing in hand that you gotta ditch. I suppose suppose I could use more kill creatures in my side deck. My sideboard. Like a dismember or something would be kind of cool. Could go green too and get like, you know, some cool stuff there. So Thoughtseize does not do anything. We'll put the rack out here. Make him lose 3 life. Truth is, I can outrace him with the rack. There you go. 3 damage. Cool. I mean, I could race him with the rack. I could race him with 2 racks. Especially if he's an idiot and puts down a land. I mean, he's not, obviously. Oh my god, good. Thank you. Getting something. Alright, so I could Smallpox, but I don't want to, because I'd rather put out Waste Not. I'd rather Thoughtseize right now. Because the 2 racks will add up. And then I can Smallpox next turn. And I'll start winning this race. Take away 6. So we're starting winning the race now. Puts a Plains into hand. I guess he's just hoping that he can like get a Glacial Colonnade up and active or something. Swap is good here. I think that's game, man. I think that's game, dude. GG. People hate this deck, man. People hate it. In retrospect, I guess I could use more kill spells in here, possibly. But it's doing pretty good. I mean, as you can see, one of those games, Waste Not, really helped me out. Second game, got mana screwed, still won. I mean, mostly because I've just got a really good control matchup. Control and combo are like what this deck eats for breakfast. Aggro is hard, of course. Zoo is the worst matchup in the world. Same thing with Affinity. Both of them are pretty bad. I'm supposing I guess Mono Green Shrine is pretty bad too. He takes a mulligan, which is great for me. I've got 3 mana, which is what I want to see. Keep. And we're going to start this off right. We're going to start it off right with the Thoughtseize. Now, depending on what he has, since he may or may not empty his hand. Getting rid of Deadshot Minotaur sounds better. Because I don't want him drawing. I know it's helping him out, get one dude out, but I don't really care that much. I guess I could Wrench Mind here, which is an actual thing, right? I mean, it does do 2. He's got nothing to make it into a 1 of. And that way, then I could put down the rack and Shrieking Affliction and pretty much just outrace him. Yeah, seems like a better plan. Because then I can do all 3 of these next turn. He tosses his Spirit Guides. He tosses a Living End, sure. Demonic Dread. So I guess he's keeping the Spirit Guides open so that he can use it for mana. Seems good. Maybe he's thinking that he can get to Avalanche Riders. I mean, you draw the land this turn. You can totally do Avalanche Riders if he really wants to. Put out that Blink Moth. He's not going to get to Avalanche Riders, though. Did he draw both living ends? Not only is he mana screwed, but he drew both living ends. That's awful. So the truth is, if he shooting Spirit Guides into anything, he loses 2 cards in hands and then plays something, so he becomes a Rack and Shrieking Affliction bait. Waste Not is a pretty good draw here. Because it's just going to be more tempo for me, basically. And the only thing out of this sideboard I think that I need to worry about is maybe Leyline, but probably Beast Within. That's about it. Although there's also those Ignite Chewers. And I think I'm just going to recycle Raven's Crime at this point. There's no real reason for me to draw. Especially now that I can start doing like a beatdown. Yeah, I can start doing a beatdown, so there's no real reason for me not to pull up this lock. I think I've pretty much got this game now. I mean, if he plays anything... Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I got him a lock, and I'm going to be basically making more and more zombie tokens and then tapping him for 1. Waste Not really proving its weight, man. I still don't know if it's a 3 of. Might just be a 3 of. Might not be a 4 of. I'm going to unlock the sideboard. I'm going to obviously put Surgical Extractions in here. I guess I could do Ensnaring Bridges because his way of winning is to do damage to me. So what do I take out? Probably some stuff that doesn't really matter all that much. Raven's Crime is a little bit weaker in this matchup. Thoughtseize, not so weak in this matchup. Smallpox actually a little bit weak in this matchup just because I'm hurting my own mana base. And he's going to be hurting my mana base. Obviously, the Avalanche Riders and stuff, that's what he's doing. Funeral Charm, I suppose, weaker since he can play that whenever. And... I guess 2 Raven's Crime would be something I would take out. This allows me to have blockers. This allows me to have... I could probably change these to singles. Damnations to like Dismembers at this point, because Waste Not's doing really great at providing blocks when I need it. It's obvious creature decks have creatures, so that makes sense. I think that's probably what we want to do. And Ensnaring Bridge is actually not bad here, so I'm going to keep it. Obviously, he'll go first. And we're going to Inquisition him first. We can get rid of his like one and only Cascade. That's something that would be highly prized. I mean, you could crack it and go for a cycle. The only reason I went for the cycle guy last time, because it's generally useless. It's like I'm not really depriving him of a card. I wouldn't mind him taking 3 damage, though. That'd be fine. If he takes 1 damage, too, that's fine as well. But if he decides to go into cycle right now, it's fine with me. Really, I don't mind him cycling because it means that I get a better look at what he has, and it takes 3 damage. That's fine. Cycle, man. Cycle it away. I mean, it lets me look at what's in his hand. That's a weird cycle. That's a weird cycle, buddy boy. But Ignite Chewer is definitely a good thing here. So is Beast Within. I could probably get Beast Within sooner than I can get Ignite Chewer. I could get rid of Demonic Dread, but he has no way of casting it right now. So I think I'm going to get rid of just Chewer. So that way, as soon as I put down, like... Although it could always bait a Chewer with a Rack, and then put down the Ensnaring Bridge, because eventually I'll win. But with Thoughtseize, I'm going to get the Beast Within next turn, so I guess Chewer. Right? Unless I get Demonic... No, Chewer sounds better. Oh, wait, no. Beast. Right. This guy's pissy at me. Anyone who plays this deck gets pissy. It's just sort of the way it goes. That's fine. I knew what he's got now. He revealed what he drew. That's fine. Swamp's a good thing here. Go ahead and... let's see, would it be better is to Thoughtseize him and then Ravenscry? I think Thoughtseizing him is probably better right now, and then Ravenscry. Obviously we want to hit Chewer. And then we're going to want to Ravenscry him. Realistically, he can only cycle once now, and yes, he may have cycled into the land he needs, but I don't think so. At this point, ooh, that's good, because we can put out the Ensnaring Bridge, and then Surgical Extract the Chewer, so that when it comes into play, it doesn't do anything because it doesn't come into play. I can do that on my turn. Probably better. I think I want to do it on my turn. Or on his turn, sorry. So that way, when he plays the thing... Oh, he's actually just going to go ahead and put out Sheeming Spirit Guide. Seems fine, buddy boy. You could have cast Demonic Dread. You chose not to. Shrieking Affliction. Shrieking Affliction. The Rack. And... Chewer. Spirit Guide. Huh? That's fine, yeah. I knew he had 4 Chewers in there. Beast Within might be like a 2 of or a 3 of. Can't remember what they do. It's a 3 of, yeah, so it was a better idea to go for Chewer. Especially with that Demonic Dread going in. I mean, he's got to figure... the only out I think he has at this point is to somehow get those Beast Withins. I think that's it. That's his only out, so he's trying to thin to get Beast Within. But really, Ensnaring Bridge is destroying him at this point. Raven's Crime, coming back from the graveyard. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. 8 on. Okay. And that's probably going to be about it. If I draw lands, I make him discard. How quickly does he leave? Gone. Alright, one more game with this setup. I really think, though, I like Pithing Needles a lot, though. I really think that on the chopping block here for more creature removal, maybe like some form of repeatable creature removal, something like cut the Damnation, maybe put it in Drown in Sorrow, or the Bile Blight, right? Yeah, Bile Blight, or cut these guys and go for like Dismember and stuff. Like that's on. It's just the aggro is such a gross matchup. But it gets a little bit better with Waste Not now. Waste Not definitely better than Dark Confidant. I'll admit it right now. I was a little bit hard-pressed to admit that. I still think it's probably maybe a 3 of, because, I mean, yes, multiple Waste Nots are actually really good, but casting them is the problem. Multiple Waste Nots in the late game, when you've got things like Funeral Charm, which, by the way, Funeral Charm gets a ton better. I'd probably cut one Waste Not for another Funeral Charm, to be honest, out of this. Two more Waste Knots. It's a blue deck, so I guess that wasn't the worst thing in the world to do. I have a Thoughtseize to turn 1. I got a bunch of mana, and I can cast Lily eventually. So, we might just be a beatdown deck today. We might just be a beatdown deck today. I think I played this guy earlier, but I can't remember. No. We are... Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, your Cryptic Stuffs. Seems fine. I actually probably want to take the Remand from you rather than the Eternal Witness. Although, Eternal Witness, let's see. Realistically, I take your Remand. You remand my Waste Not. Then to a turn 3 of Videlkin Shackles. And then, or you could do a Remand thing to bring back the Remand, and then I could do a Lily. I think that's probably the best. Yeah, I mean, get rid of that Remand. Sure. So you got a lot of Cryptics, so that Eternal Witness needs to go away. I'm going to put down Swamp here. And put down Waste Not. There's your info. There's your info, buddy. I guess this is like Familiar's Ruse, the kind of deck that one of my buddies was working online. Seems fine. So how do I want to order this? I could always do a Funeral Charm and then Lily. I know what he's got in hand is an Eternal Witness, and 3 Cryptic Command. So he'd be crazy to get rid of his Eternal Witness, right? He would want to get rid of a Cryptic Command, which would allow me to draw a card. Depending on what that card is, I could do nothing, though. So I think the best bet here is to play an Blinkmoth Nexus, put down the Liliana the Veil, set the counters to 4, and toss a Swamp. And then I get a zombie, because he tossed Eternal Witness. Now that can block for Lily for days! Sure, take it. We got a Smallpox. Could work. Actually, it works well right now since I don't have a zombie token. I could also just play another Waste Knot and draw a crap ton of cards, which seems kind of cool. I lose my Lily, though, if I do that, probably. Well, no, I could +1 it. No, I think the best bet here is to put down another Waste Knot. And then Funeral Charm. Drawing a crap ton of cards seems like stuff I want to do. And then probably up Lily, get rid of my Blinkmoth. Draw more cards, then play the Wreck for 1 damage. Well, that guy's not attacking, but sure. If you want to attack Lily, that's fine too. Because I can actually just +1 Lily at that point. Set counters to 1. And I can make you discard pretty much everything, because I think I Raven's Crimed you earlier, right? No, I didn't. Okay, that's fine. So I can Funeral Charm something. I think that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to Funeral Charm you. What do you want to do? I mean, 2 Waste Knots. Oh my god, it's so good against any control deck. From hand to graveyard. So draw 2 cards. Cool. I drew nothing but lands, but that's acceptable. Especially with the Smallpox out now. +1 Lily. I get a zombie. And then what? I guess I could Smallpox still if I want to. And I lose... What I can block here. I can still block here and be fine if I just don't Smallpox. Because I don't really want to lose Lily. Although I could lose Lily. At this point, I mean, he probably makes me... He probably discards, what, another Cryptic? How many Cryptics are in there? He's got more than enough Cryptics. So I don't know what's in his hand right now. He could be holding it because he wants to hold on to it. I think the best bet here is just to... I didn't play a land for turn yet, so I'm going to play a land for turn. I'm actually just going to Smallpox. Welp. Yes, I win. So, alright, I'm done tested. That's enough for right now. I guess Waste Snot update version of my deck at the end of this test looks like this. 3 Waste Snot, 4 Racks, 4 Shrieking Affliction, 3 Funeral Charms, because Funeral Charms is way better when you've got Waste Snot on the field. 4 Blink Moth Nexus. I saw some people doing that in the MTG Salvation thread, and I think that's probably better because it's got evasion. Even though it doesn't have as big as a butt as possible. They help each other out sometimes too. Really, with Waste Not now, you don't really need to worry too much about in here. Let me just put the Waste Not stuff. With Waste Not, you really don't need to worry too much about having to block things with your Blink Moth Nexus. Mostly because if you're playing against a creature deck, a creature's going to go in there eventually, and you're going to get a 2/2 black zombie token that can block most things. I guess not a Shriek Maw, but and that's going to be totally good. I guess no, it can totally block a black Shriek Maw because it's black. Derp. So yeah, it's pretty good in that respect. I don't really need to worry about having a Mutavault. Mutavault doesn't really do anything different. It maybe gets plussed because of Merfolk, but that's about it. So no, I think the evasion's better, and the pump thing, it could be cooler if you've got a bunch out. 2 Dakmar Salvage. I know some people run 4. I wouldn't suggest it. Same thing with the Arbog. You really need the mana. This is a greedy deck. I'm interested in splashing red, but the problem is there's so much black that's hard to do that at. And being alive to Blood Moon is actually kind of cool too, I guess. Thinking about putting this together and running it at my local shop at some point in time just to get people off my ass about Zoo. Zoo I can play online all day and people aren't metagaming against me. At my local shop, since I just took like first place with it, people will metagame against me. Eventually, you know, they'll start putting in more and more Anger to the Gods. So to throw them off my track with some extra stuff, I think I'm only lacking 2 Orborgs. I have all the lilies. I can trade my extra lilies for more if I need it. I need Thought Seizes, but they're slow now. But I think I got the rest of it, actually. Except for Waste Not, of course. So, in a nutshell, this is what it is. It's mostly focused on discard, getting a little bit more value out of these Wrench Mines too. If you have a Waste Not out, yes, it is a waste of a turn, ironically. But an early Waste Not into a Wrench Mine or even a Lily is fine, especially if you can get, like, as you saw me do a Lily a couple times and then get a blocker for Lily. Wrench Mine is awesome. There's a game where I managed to get out Waste Not. I don't know if I recorded it. A game where I Waste Not followed by Wrench Mine and a Raven's Crime, and it was ridiculous. I just drew 3 cards. It wasn't like I really changed my field very much, but drawing 3 cards just reloaded my hand like crazy. It's nice too that the deck is very much more resilient to removal spells. Removal spells literally are just a waste now in this deck. Yes, you can hit Blink Moth Nexus. Yes, you can hit a token, but it's like meh. It's really pretty meh. Ensnaring Bridge gets a lot better because you really can just sit back now way more with Waste Not than you could with Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant wasn't like blocking. It was let's be honest, we used it as an enchantment that it could occasionally deal some damage. Waste Not is also an enchantment that it can occasionally deal damage. So Ensnaring Bridge gets a lot better. In fact, you could use it main deck probably. I'm not a big fan of it main deck. I'd rather have Smallpox main deck. And then side out Smallpox if I really needed it. I really, really like Smallpox. I think Smallpox is a lot better in this deck now that with Waste Not, because even if you're ditching a land with there's a game earlier in testing, totally didn't record it, where I put a Waste Not out. I only had 2 mana, and I played a Smallpox on a hunch that he was going to discard an extra land card since I viewed his hand earlier and he had a lot of land, and he did, and that gave me enough mana to put down a 3rd land and then put down Liliana of the Veil, something I definitely normally couldn't do. but it was, and crazy play was way strong. Pithing Needle, Torpor Orb, all stuff that could be changed. Necrogenic Mist is just a one of in there in case I end up viewing Leyline of the Sanctity. You might want to splash, not necessarily red, but you might want to splash green for things like, I'd probably cut, if I'm splashing green, I'd probably cut Smallpox, and I put in, or Wrench Mine, and I'd put in things like Abrupt Decay, and it gives you like Maelstrom Pulse off the side, which is good too. And those are all answers to enchantments. I don't know if it's really that big of a deal right now. I think mono black is probably the best way to go. And I'm normally a supporter of like red. The reason why I'm a supporter of red is because it gives you a lot more Wrench Mind effects, and it gives you Rix Matty, which allows you to do Eventual. But with Waste Not in the deck, to be honest with you, because you're just drawing so many cards in this format because of it, I don't think you really need to have things like Lilies. Well, I mean, you need a Lily. Obviously, Lily's good. But I don't think you need to have things like Necrogenic Mists in the main or Rix Matty in the main anymore, just to try to keep parity, so that way you're going from 1-for-1 discard to 2-for-1 discard. I don't think you need it anymore, especially if you put out Waste Not and you're just making like him discard a non-land card. You should get such a buff with that draw that you should be fine. 23 land is the way to go. I guess you could cut down to 22 if you want, but with the Smallpox in my deck, I'd rather have 23. You really want to get to 3 mana in this deck so that you can cast the Liliana the Veil, or you can start doubling up on some of your 2 mana and 1 mana spells. Anyways, guys, that was my testing. I hope it taught you guys something. Hopefully, maybe y'all think it's good. I'm definitely on 3 Waste Knots now, not 4. Because having 2 Waste Knots, great against a blue deck, but you're going to have time against a blue deck to draw into your second Waste Knot. Against an aggro deck, it's totally a waste of time. Same thing with the mid-range deck. It's just, casting-wise, you don't want to go Waste Knot, Waste Knot. Now I'm going to start you discarding. You really want to go turn 1 discard, turn 2 Waste Knot, turn 3 either 2 or 1 discard to make up for your lack of turn, or something like Lily. And then if you draw on the turn 4 or 5 another Waste Knot, you can start playing the second and third Waste Knot. Especially after you have the ability to do, like, if you have 3 mana, it's not awful to do Waste Knot on turn 3 and then another discard card. If you hit something relevant, you get something good out of it. But Waste Knot turns out a huge buff to this deck, I think. It makes it from tier 2 to tier 1.5 at least. So I'd strongly recommend the deck right now. What this deck really needs is something like Funeral Charm that does -2, -2. Or something that's like Innocent Blood. I would pack 4 Innocent Blood in this in a heartbeat over like Smallpox, if I could. It's really the Innocent Blood, something like a 1-mana kill creature that's nice on our end. That's not situational like Dismember where it hurts us, or the new card that's coming out in M15, or like something that only does -2, -2. I don't really need -2, -2, especially with Deathrite Shaman not in the format anymore. Funeral Charm's a lot better. Anyways, thanks for watching. Remember to like if you want to, subscribe if you want to. Occasionally do non-zoo stuff. So, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.